Hello all, this is JC3 from Is This Real? Do you want to start your own podcast? Then look no further than Buzzsprout.com. We here at Green Hour Media use Buzzsprout, and we love the team at Buzzsprout. They are all about helping you succeed. Buzzsprout gets your show listed in every major podcast platform. Follow the link in our show notes to let Buzzsprout know that we sent you. It gets you a $20 paid Amazon gift card if you sign up with a paid plan and helps support our show. Join us and over 100,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout.com to get your message out to the world. Welcome everybody to a special episode of Is This Real? I'm your host, Joe. We have Dad over there, as usual.
What's
Hello,
up?
Dad.
I'm okay. How are you?
And today, another week, another guest. A guest that we have today is my best friend, my heterosexual life mate of all time, Eric. What's up, Eric?
How gayer could he have made that?
What a fucking fruitcake,
right? Like I saw rainbows. I saw rainbows and it's nighttime, bro. Like what's going on?
I just killed the gay community, but that's okay.
Hey, I like rainbows though.
Okay, and you guys just a Jay and Silent Bob reference, but okay, whatever. Today's episode, or this week's episode, in my opinion, we're going to be talking about the scariest movie of all time. A lot of people
hold on a minute. Wait a minute. In your opinion, we're going to be talking about it, or we're going to be talking about, in your opinion, the scariest movie of all time?
Yeah, in my opinion, it's the scariest movie of all time.
Okay, well, that's not what you said, but okay.
Okay, Dad. We're going to start it off again this week.
We have to be professional here.
Remember that.
Okay, so in my opinion, The Exorcist is the scariest movie of all time.
Your English teacher would be proud.
Eric, what's your opinion?
I watched the movie just once though, to see if it's like as scary as people made it seem to be, and I didn't find it scary. Now, again, we were just talking about a while back that while I was watching The Exorcist, I actually saw a ghost in my house, so that's what made it more scary for me. And I've heard...
This is the first time I've heard that story. You've told me other stories about ghosts in your house, so it's not like you're... Because I know a lot of people be like, well, of course you're going to see a ghost while watching The Exorcist, but I've heard you talk about other stories about ghosts in your house, legitimately.
Yeah, and that was the first time, I've always heard it. I've been living in my house since I was 5, and the first times I've noticed that there was stuff was weird about that house was it's a very vivid memory when I was playing hide and seek, and the rule was we were supposed to hide in the house, and my sneaky ass decided to hide in the little hallway by my stairs, and I heard footsteps coming up the steps, and I didn't see anybody at all. So that was the first time that I noticed there was something off about that house.
Have you guys ever inquired as to what's going on there? Have you ever did any kind of...
No, because I don't like messing with the supernatural. I don't like
fuck with that.
I don't like fucking with what I can't see and fight with my own hands in this dimension or plane.
Yeah, you can't tell a ghost to square up, bro.
I can't. I mean, I could, but it's just gonna rock me or just send me flying across the room or something. And that I don't want to agitate it either. I've been living in this house forever. I don't. At this point, I'm just trying to make. I just want it to be.
You just want the ghost to pay the rent, bro.
That'd make a killer.
Dad, your opinion? What's your opinion on The Exorcist? You were alive when it came out, so
yeah.
You were alive.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you fuck with kids. All right. The Exorcist, in my opinion, is one of the I'm going to say weirdest and most frightening movies I've ever seen. And there's reasons for that. If you want me to go into them, I will. I think personally... Now, as you know, The Exorcist is based upon a real story, but it was a boy instead of a girl.
Yeah.
Okay, and... That I didn't know. I learned that one today.
Yeah, that's a little... The stories are different, but I guess when he wrote the book, he changed everything over to a girl.
Well, I mean, what's more creepy to you, a little girl laughing or a little boy laughing?
I mean, they're still children, though, so that's, kind of creepy on its own, because kids are just, Kids are just kids, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Little girls can be more creepy than little boys.
Any little kid that you hear in a ghost hunt, like in a voice recording or something like that, that would scare the shit out of me. She scared the shit out of me in a movie because it's what they did with her. It's what they there was like no holes barred. There was everything that they could have done to freak you out. They did.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the original. Now, you flash forward 30 years later when they released the uncut one, and the director's cut, yeah. And they added the spider walk into it. When I first saw the spider walk, I literally just about shit my pants.
Speaking of that, did you see the director's cut, Eric?
I did not, but I feel like I might know what you're talking about. Is that like the scene where like she does like she's like crab walking or something like that, like right coming down the stairs? I thought it was just like she was coming. Yeah.
Yeah, so they filmed it backwards. That's why. But yeah, she was coming down the stairs, and she had apparently they had a wooden backboard under her to make her walk like that.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And that always was the creepiest part of the movie for me, besides the little faces they put in here and there in the darkness. Because
the crab walk came out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. No one heard about it. No one knew about it. But they had a way to add it until. But they had a way to add it till after they invented CGI because they had to cut out the strings and the wires and everything else. So that was that part scared the shit out of me. The first time I saw it with my grandfather, and he made so much jokes and it was fun, and I rented the video cassette and it was just him and I couldn't get into the horror aspect of it. But years later, I do my research as far as reading about this stuff, and then you see it again
as you get as an adult, and you kind of realize, it's not really. It's real,
right?
The real aspect of it.
I think when I've seen a scary movie or Scary Movie 2, one of those, I think that's like what kind of like ruined me being afraid of The Exorcist, because like every time I just every time I just like see The Exorcist, all I just see is just like fuck me.
Yeah, that movie did ruin it, but at the same time, like,
how about the bird scene? Oh my tooth.
Yeah. But like, I think the creepier part about The Exorcist, and a lot of the
you don't know my mama's son.
A lot of the more haunted movies, more like scarier movies, is the stuff that happened off camera, on set stuff that nobody can explain.
Yeah, because we mentioned that The Exorcist wasn't the Poltergeist was another one that also had like creepy stuff happen to it on the set.
Yeah, I'm like, I have this website right now, so it's the 7 creepy things that happened on the set of The Exorcist. Apparently, the first one is there was an unexplained fire. The first set of this film caught fire, and everything on the set except for Regan's room, which is the girl who was possessed, were still intact. Due to this unexplained fire, the shooting was delayed about 6 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and then the second one was Ellen Bernstein's permanent spine injury. The chick who played the mother.
Okay.
During do you remember the one scene where she gets thrown against the wall, the mom?
Yeah, they have the dressers coming at her.
Yeah. And in Reagan's bedroom when she's yelling fuck me," and sticks the crucifix up her twat. Yeah.
There goes the G rating.
Yeah. So
sorry, kids.
In that scene, they had a body rig on the mother, and I guess they pulled her so hard that she broke her spine. Not broke her spine. She had, I forgot what type of spine injury it was, but
permanent spine injury.
Yeah, she had a permanent spine injury, and it fucked her up for a while. Like, still.
It says in that scene she got pulled too quickly and landed herself on the coccyx.
Oh.
Great impact, which is
the tailbone.
Ooh, which caused a permanent spinal injury. The screech that you hear in that scene is pure pain and real. Wow.
Yeah, she legitimately got fucked up because they pulled her too hard with that body rig. Completely just jacked her shit up. The next thing it says there was 9 deaths associated with this movie.
Okay.
That's a lot of deaths to be associated with the movie.
Who would now were they?
What? So 2 actors, Vasiliki Maliaros and Jack McGowan, who were scripted to die in the film, also died in real life during post-production. Apart from that, 7 other people associated with the cast and members of the crew died to natural or unexplained causes before or during the release of the film.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Hey, Ryan. Hi, this is Sarah Palin.
Ryan, Donald Trump Jr.
Harsh to win, see you. Hey, everybody, I want y'all to check out a fellow Marines podcast.
My name is Ted Nugent, and I got a call from my buddy Ryan F. Samuels, and he wants me to tell you that he's a working hard, playing all-American son of a who is celebrating God, family, country.
Welcome to the Ryan Samuels Show, one of the top political podcasts in the United States, where we have a healthy distrust for government and mainstream media. The Ryan Samuels Show is a raw, unfiltered look at American politics.
So how would that be? Is that supposedly they're trying to say that had something to do with the movie, the curse or something?
They're trying to say it was...
People die all the time.
Well, not of unexplained causes.
Oh.
I mean, I guess the only valid way to like really check that out is to like see like which 7 other people died from that, and like see, I don't know. That's a lot of homework. You'd have to like see if they were like, if there has like health issues, whatever. I mean, if it's
you have to do the whole COVID like pinpoint thing. Like you have to track where all these people were and the reasons why.
Yeah, but for like 1960 something.
So this one says a warning or a sign. So Jason Miller, who played Father Karras, was approached by a priest on the street. The priest gave him a medallion and said to him, reveal the devil for the trickster that he is. He will seek retribution against you, or he will even try to stop what you're trying to do to unmask him.
Okay, I know a little bit about this. In the movie, the guy who plays his best friend...
The priest's best friend.
Right. Yeah. He's also a priest. That's the priest he's talking about. That landed that priest the role in the movie. So the guy that you see playing him is really a priest. And because of his interaction with Jason Miller, they added him into the film. And he's also the guy at the end of the movie, if you remember when Miller jumps out of the window and falls down the steps, he's giving Jason Miller the last rites.
Yeah.
That's the priest they're talking about.
That's crazy.
That's creepy, right?
That's crazy. Now, honestly, this makes me just want to go back and actually and just see this movie for like.
I'm telling you,
the art aspect of this.
Yeah, but if you don't really remember watching the director's cut, there's little things they added to the movie that make it creepier. Like I don't know if you remember in the movie, but
it was years ago that I seen it.
But periodically throughout the movie, they place little vignette devil faces throughout just blank spots in the movie, and it makes it so much creepier. It's like a flash thing.
And one of them was where they were in a room and they shut the door, and there was nothing really going on in the room, but when they shut the door, on the back of the door, this face just came up and disappeared.
Yeah, it's the creepiest fucking little thing.
Wild. In fact, the movie. If you saw the movie, and in the movie, Jason Miller is having a dream about his mother standing in a subway station.
Okay.
And about the medallion dropping.
Yeah.
Okay. And then in that, they also put that same face in the original movie.
Yeah.
And that's, if you ever see it and you don't see a director's cut, that's the face we're talking about. They put that at different spots during the
that fucking face haunted me for years. It's I'll have dreams about it. It's the creepiest thing.
Yeah, and again, going back to the spider walk, what scared the shit out of me, it's how they did it. I'm not talking about the technical aspect. I'm talking about how they did it with she's on the phone and she just learns about Burke Dennings getting killed. And she hangs up the phone and she just innocently turns around, and then the horror hits her of her daughter walking backwards down this steps.
Oh yeah, it wasn't like nobody knew that shit was
knew
coming.
it wasn't coming. You just knew it wasn't going to get there. And then all of a sudden they go. It was like, oh wow, he's dead, and now this kid is walking down the step backwards and spits blood out. That fucked up. I mean, whoever put that together, they should have got an Oscar. Maybe they did. I don't even remember, but. It was pretty wild.
Shout out to those people.
Yeah, so the next thing that was on that happened during the set, apparently Linda Blair had a mental breakdown.
That's the child?
Yeah, that's the chick who played Regan. Linda's character in the film was absolutely intense, and she had to be in that mind frame to portray the character.
Okay. You're dealing with a 13-year-old girl. Never was in a movie before. You're asking her to do some crazy shit on the set of this thing.
Consensual, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're asking her to do some crazy shit that
Consensual. Only you would bring that.
Eric's got to be Eric.
That's going to be our new podcast show. Eric is Eric.
Unbelievable. And that's why after a while, plus the makeup that they were putting on this kid every day.
Well, she has to look in the mirror and see a fucking demon staring at her.
6 hours of makeup a day. It had to take its toll. When you're 13 years old, you're not looking. You want to be outside playing with your friends or whatever, And she wasn't making a lot of money back then. What did she make? $200,000 maybe. She probably made more money on the residuals of the cassettes.
Give me $200,000 right now. Shit.
13.
Joe, these people don't even take their socks off for $200,000 now. Come on.
Okay.
Tom Hanks gets $20 million
For breathing.
for breathing in a movie, and the guy, to me, I'm sorry, Tom Hanks sucks.
Okay, Tom.
But
we're
that's
not going
just
to
my
get back to.
opinion.
All right, so the next one, it says Rome screening. So the first time the movie was screened in Rome, it was at a theater located between two churches. On the day of the screening, there was a torrential rain and a lightning storm brewing in the background to create the haunting effect. One of the 400-year-old crosses was also struck by lightning, and it fell in the middle of the piazza.
Wasn't that lovely? Some people might call that coincidence.
Think how lucky they are. They didn't have to pay for it. God helped them out.
Man.
He didn't have to pay for them theatrics. He did it by himself.
Hey.
Thanks.
That's what I said. That's what I'm saying.
Myself.
You would call that coincidence. I call that reason. I don't know. I was looking for the word. I was trying to improve my vocabulary, and it definitely failed.
Oh God!
So the next incident that happened is while writing the book, the presence of the darkness was so strong that Blatty, while writing the book, experienced strange and supernatural activities, such as things randomly levitating in the air. Was it late at night or stress? None of us could explain it, but if you see a pattern, it has to be something. I don't know. A lot of writers go through different shit.
Yeah, but when something starts levitating,
I mean, then again, like the argument could be like, who knows how many days she's been up, like sleep deprived.
About the writer of the book.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
like,
that's a he.
Well, I'm looking at the photo and I'm over here looking at a woman, so. But
this is Blatty.
So he could have just been like really, really like stressed and just on top of it, just like sleep deprived. Because I know that, well, I can't say I know, but I've heard that if you go a constant period of time without sleeping, that you start hallucinating and you start seeing things.
Well, and the subject matter that you're writing about too, it could be that could have an effect on somebody. Like if you're writing and you're sleep deprived and you're hallucinating shit and you're talking about ghosts and demons, you're gonna start seeing that shit.
I can tell you one thing I wouldn't be doing. If I'm that tired, I'm not sitting alone. And if judging by what the outcome of the movie was, he's got to write that stuff all alone in a room late at night, not sleeping for days. The word no comes to mind. Not going to happen. It's just no, it's just not going to happen. You got to. I understand the subject matter is horrible, but you really got to wake the fuck up here.
Write it in the day or something.
Yeah, I mean, just take a break.
Take a nap. Take a
Takes
nap.
fucking Edison wakes up, he spends an hour a day sleeping. I mean, come on. Not me. No.
So those are the 7 things that happen on the set that are like kind of unexplained. I have another list right here. It's the actual scariest moments of The Exorcist.
Go on.
Number 5 is The Exorcist 3.
They made more than one?
There's like 4.
Yeah. And then they have the...
But it's not the same little little girl.
No. It's all about like the father and the priests and all that shit that happened before.
Right.
More like prequels.
1 and 2 had Linda Blair in it.
Okay.
Now, if you ask anybody, they're going to tell you 1 and 2 are so different. There really is no connection between 2 movies, other than Linda Blair's possessed, and every once in a while they go to show you a picture of her in her room. But it's nothing like the first one. About the story's not about her. It's about James Earl Jones, and what he was doing as a priest and as a I don't know, a
missionary or something.
No, well, he was in Africa and he was doing he was a tribal leader.
Okay.
And that was the story. Basically, it was based upon him. The movie, in my opinion, sucked. I only watched it twice, and I still don't know what it was about. The one I enjoy, other than the first one, is Exorcist 3. And that didn't have Linda Blair in it. It had George C. Scott in it. I can't think of the other actor's name. Jason Miller, the guy who plays Father Karras in the first one, comes back in that one. And I don't want to give anybody a spoiler alert here, but in the first one, the last you see, he's laying in a pool of blood at the bottom of the steps. Well, apparently he survived that. And he comes back in the third movie, and he's in an insane asylum. But because before he jumped out of the window, he was possessed. Remember him yelling, take me, and then the demon or whatever ripped that necklace off his body.
And then possessed him, and he jumped out the window.
So he jumped out the window, a possessed person, but he was a priest, and he knew that that's probably the only way he can save himself. So in Exorcist 3, he comes back in the movie, and it's all about him being possessed in the insane asylum. But the guy who plays him, now Jason Miller is in the movie for a couple of scenes here and there, but the guy who plays Jason Miller's Father Karras as the possessed guy was brilliant. And you gotta look this guy
very believable.
Very believable. He was absolutely amazing, and his portrayal of what Father Karras' character is going through now, and his relationship with the devil and being in hell, and the guy in the first one who played Kinderman does not come back in the third movie. He's played by George C. Scott. He's playing that same guy's character, so a different actor. And Kinderman, if you remember the first one, and Karras were friends. They would go to movies together. They did a lot of talking together.
Very hazy.
He comes back, and it's all about really George C. Scott, Kinderman, what's going on at the hospital, what's going on in different spots around town. It was really, I thought, put together really well as part of fiction, where this was loosely based upon a true story. Part 3 is just pure fiction, but as a horror movie, it scared the shit out of me. It really did. It was
the third one.
Huh?
The third one.
Yeah.
Third one, Exorcist 3.
I have not seen Exorcist 3.
I enjoyed that movie.
I only saw the first one, and it was just one time when I was still in high school when this happened.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to. There's another one called Exorcist: The Beginning, right?
Yeah.
And it's all about Father Marin, the old guy in the first one.
Who just recently died?
Yeah. The
actor.
Max von Sydow.
Yeah, Max von Sydow.
It's all about his character as a young priest, what he did to put himself in a position to be an exorcist.
Yeah.
And some of it's really fucking creepy. I don't think I've seen the whole movie. I just came across it the other day. It's on the shelf. I think it's Anthony's. I don't know why I never bought it.
The scene that this is the top find apparently is the Exorcist franchise. The number 5 is apparently in the Exorcist 3. There's a ceiling creepy hospital scene.
Right. Where the old woman is walking across the ceiling.
Yeah, that brings out number 5. They have videos up. I'm not gonna play the videos obviously because only we can see them. But again, I haven't seen that.
Well, it's when they're in the mental institution, and all of a sudden she closes the door and there's a window in the door, and this old woman is walking upside down on the ceiling, and he took that when Blatty wrote the book. He took that from the original, from the true story of the boy who used to.
Oh yeah, the boy.
Right, the reports that the boy would walk upside down like a fly on the ceiling.
That's scary.
Yeah, true or not? Again, you got to go by what the reports are, I guess. But there's really no evidence of that.
I know it has nothing to do with the Exorcist franchise, but like, to me, the movie that I think scared the living hell out of me was The Exorcist of Emily Rose.
Yeah.
Because that one, they said that one was based on a true story.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, after watching that movie, I was waking up like at 3:00 in the morning for like a week straight, thinking I was gonna die.
That's
That's terrifying, bro. Like, you hear about, like, oh, this is what happens at 3 a.m. From 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. That's when all the crazy stuff be happening. And mind you, I'm over here, like, 11, 12 years old, waking up at 3 in the morning. I'm gonna die. Yo, I swear. Bro, I swear, I was staying up. I was up, like...
No, I would wake, like, even now, I'll wake up at, like 2:50, 3 o'clock, so I'm like, shit.
Don't go.
Why am I?
And then don't go to sleep until 4.
Why the fuck am I waking up around this time? You know the reason that is, though, right? Why 3 o'clock, 12 to 3 is like the devil witching hour?
I thought it was like 3 to 4 or something like that.
No, it's like 12 to 3 because the demons, they mock the Holy Trinity.
Mm-hmm.
So they keep it at 3. Everything is in 3s. With ghosts and demons and not ghosts, but like demons and devils.
If your house is haunted, say, and you're sitting there one night and on the front door you hear,
it would be 3. It would be 3.
And you go to the door and there's nobody there. Might have a problem. You might have a slight problem.
Slight problem, bro. First of all, I don't even know who knocks in my door. That's the first thing. Nobody in my house knocks.
All right. Okay. So we'll make it more modern.
That's the
ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Okay. That's. Where the fuck did you get him from? Jesus Christ.
That's true though. Nobody knocks anymore.
No, well,
I get a phone call. It's like, I'm outside. That's it. I don't get a knock. Not even a doorbell ring. It's just a phone call.
Yeah. Then again, that's the modern. If you get 3 text messages from a random number, then you have a problem. Let's keep that modern.
It just says I'm outside 3 times.
Outside. Who the hell is outside?
Bro.
I don't see you. Who are you?
But yeah, it's really like everything goes in 3s.
Penny. Sorry.
But yeah, everything goes in 3s with demons and devils. So you hear anything unexplainable in 3s, you might have a problem.
Okay.
The same thing it goes if you smell rotten eggs.
Yeah, I've heard the whole rotten egg sulfur smell is like not. That's a serious problem.
Yeah, if you smell that, get the fuck out. Go get a priest.
Bro, you gonna have to burn the house down. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that'll save that.
Wow.
It's true. Fire. Come on, think about it.
I agree. If you have a haunted house and there's fires in your house, you have a demon. Ghosts can't do that. Ghosts aren't. They don't have the.
That's why
the strength to do that.
That's why I feel that like what's in my house isn't something that's like malevolent, because I've been in that house since a child, and children are more prone to supernatural things happening to them. And if it was something malevolent, I would have probably felt something.
Well, you're what now? 26? 25. And you've been living there since 5. I think 20 years worth of living there. Yeah, I would have to say that in that amount of time, there's 3 things that happen and that differentiate a haunting from a demonic. Demonic, it's called oppression. Oh God, I'm going to lose this one. I know oppression and possession are one of them, and there's another one. But what happens is, there's 3 stages to a possession, and one of them is they oppress you. They do stupid shit around your house. They make you think you're crazy.
That's the whole like giving into the fear, like letting the fear and the negative and the negative energy like get them. They're feeding off that.
Yeah, and it makes you weak, and when you become weak, they can then possess you. Now, I should have.
I think it doesn't go oppression, depression, and then possession.
I don't know if depression.
It rhymes. It rhymes. So I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah, I don't know if depression parts, but anyway, that was brought up by Ed Warren. He coined that first.
Isn't that The Conjuring or something?
Who?
Yes, The Conjuring.
The Conjuring.
Conjuring,
right?
yeah.
Ed Warren. Look, we talked about the Warrens in a previous episode, but you would be surprised about the amazing shit the Warrens have been through.
We're going to do an episode on the Warrens. It's going to be a long one because these guys.
Yeah, these guys were investigating, and they were
right. Well, Ed Warren was a demonologist. His wife was a clairvoyant, and what they did together was amazing. And the most popular thing, obviously, is going to be the Amityville House. And when people say, "Well, that didn't happen," it didn't happen. Again, there's no proof. I can't say to you, Eric, look at this.
Look at this video that I have from like 19 something.
So the 3 stages of possession, it's infestation, oppression, and possession.
Right.
Infestation, that's whispering, footsteps, the feeling of another presence, which ultimately grows into oppression, the 2nd stage. Now this is where the victim, and it's usually the one who is the most psychologically vulnerable, is targeted specifically by an external force.
Right.
Breaks the victim down, crushes their will, and once in a weakened state, leads to the 3rd stage, possession.
That's why it becomes extremely
scary,
dangerous
bro.
when you see that.
See, that's why I don't fuck with ghosts, bro. Like, I can't see any of that. I can't see any of that. At least I can, like, with a person, I can hear tone, aggression, and stuff like that. Like, I could fight that. Like, that's nothing.
You can't fight being oppressed.
I can, bro. Like, you hear little whispers. Hey, how's it going? Who the fuck?
Like, did you hear that? No. Well, fuck, man. What the hell?
Shit, I gotta stop smoking.
Maybe you should keep going.
At that point.
But yeah, so that's the 3 stages. Like, that's the fucked up part, because if you start seeing someone go through that, or if you're going through that yourself, you have to be more willed.
Well, you'll know. I mean, it's not like you look. If you got in your head that this is happening, and you're knowledgeable to this stuff. That's why it's very important to be knowledgeable, even in stuff like this, where people look at you and go, "Oh, you're crazy." Maybe I am, but I'm gonna know. I'm gonna learn about it. I got a shelf up there loaded with books about it because I want to know. I want to know what the fuck's going on, and maybe it's an old wives' tale. I don't know, but there's too much out there to make it an old wives' tale.
And then not only that, but then on top of that, like, just think about like legends being passed down through generations, and just stories. It has to come from somewhere, even if it's not believable. It's just like, at least like, if you are open minded enough, at least you'll like be a little curious about it and at least question why people would doubt this.
You have to be open minded about this shit. For you to believe stuff like this, you have to be open-minded.
You should be open-minded about everything, Joe. Everything,
Now, did anybody in the Exorcist actually like go through anything like supernatural, like demonic supernatural?
I have not read about anybody going through actual like.
Because that would be something that would be nuts too.
Besides the shit that happened on set to the people, I haven't heard anything actually happening, like supernaturally, to any of the actors, any of the cast, or any of the
production
crew. Yeah, like I said, just whatever happened on set or whatever. If you believe all the deaths and like are associated to the picture, if you believe that, then
that's documented. They're there. People died.
Well, what I'm saying, if you believe it's associated to the actual film.
No, wait, nobody died on set, though.
No, I don't think they said they died on set. It was future deaths of people who were on the film, and 2 actors who died post-production.
Yeah.
But yet Max von Sydow lived to a ripe old age, like 80-something, and literally died looking like he was in The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Because it was funny, because in The Exorcist, Father Merrin plays this old, Max von Sydow plays Father Merrin. He's old, he's decrepit, he's got these little skinny glasses, and he's ancient, but to take the makeup off, and he was, I think, 45 when he made that movie.
Yeah, it was,
so he was a relatively young man.
Yeah.
When as he got older, he started resembling Father Marin. And he's scaring people because it's like, we saw you in 73. You look like this in 73. So whoever did the makeup then really did a good job to flash forward him, 40 years.
Yeah, she was a psychic. Maybe she was the one causing all the supernatural stuff. You never know. So it's a mystery.
The fourth creepiest thing or scariest thing that happened in the Exorcist franchise, everybody knows this. Everybody has seen this scene. It's the in the first movie, the head spin.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, that.
Everyone knows that scene. Not even if you're not even a horror movie fan, you've seen.
You've seen it in a scary movie.
Do you know what she did?
Your whoring daughter.
No. See again.
Oh, excuse me.
You know what she did? Your cunting daughter.
Cunting. Okay, excuse me.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Hello, nerds. Come listen to the History Nerds United podcast, and let's make history fun again. We interview today's best authors, whether they are established Pulitzer Prize winners or someone debuting their first book. Let us show you that history is not a boring class you took in high school, but a place where the best stories come from. And we don't just cover history, we also love to chat about true crime, biographies, memoirs, and so much more. So head on over to History Nerds United and let us introduce you to your new favorite book and learn the story behind the story.
History Nerds United.
I know that I've seen the movie too many times.
Come on, get with the program.
Well, so number 3 is the one we were talking about earlier, the spider walk.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, like we were saying before, the spider walk was director cut only, after CGI, and it was unexpected, very unexpected for the people on scene, like watching the movie.
Oh yeah, because you're expecting what you've already seen in the previous versions. And they never announced that shit was going to happen.
Yeah, they never announced that they're going to add.
And all of a
scenes to
sudden,
it.
they just this chick starts walking back. This close. The shit was this close to my asshole.
It was puckering.
It was on its way out.
It was puckering. It felt a little warm back there, so he was just like,
what the fuck are they showing? What is this?
But that was even with the like again, we were talking about the demon faces and the thing that was added after, like in the re-release, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, there was
CGI thing, right? Huh? The CGI thing?
Yeah, the CGI faces and like the dark hallways, stuff like that.
They weren't about in the original. They didn't have CGI, so that was masking. What they were doing, they were just taking the picture and somehow masking it on the film.
Oh, so those things weren't added to the re-release.
No, what was happening in the re-release was they added more of that, but they could do that. They added it in different parts of the movie to emphasize that part. But but like I said before, the spider walk came out of nowhere. But it came at a time when you're actually petrified now because you knew that Reagan just threw Burke Dennings out the window, and she's getting that phone call. And you're like, oh my God! And then it goes right into that spider walk, and it's like a double whammy. It hits you bang bang. So they knew what they were doing when they did it, and where they did it. You know.
Yeah, that was a
timing is. I feel like what makes a good horror movie is just the timing.
Oh yeah, it's all about the. You know what it is
timing,
for me?
Timing and the suspense element is what really keeps someone hooked on a horror movie. At least with me.
Well, for me, it's timing and the music. If you could sit there and properly, like for me, the scariest part about any movie is dead silence. If you have dead silence and then a pop scare, that I'll shit myself.
Not yet. That's why, like, even though it wasn't a scary movie at all, when I went to go see the movie Insidious, it was really good for that because it had a lot of jump scare moments.
Well, I don't know. I thought Insidious was a pretty fucked up movie. Yeah, the scene that I think everybody again talks about is the one when the demon or whatever the fuck it is right behind what's his face when he's sitting and talking to the wife, and nobody knew that was coming.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the face that was right there. like, yo,
and,
bro,
there was
I'm
no
not
music to that either.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, I feel like I think I almost cried when that part happened. Like, oh shit.
Yeah, like I think that was the best part, was that it was dead silent, and you just see that. What pissed me off is that I think it was the mother or the wife who was sitting there talking to him. I think it was the mother. I haven't seen that movie in a minute.
It's a good movie, I'm not gonna lie.
But I think what pissed me off is there was no reaction. She just sat there and went, like, there was no reaction. Like, she didn't jump back. Like, if I see that, like, if I'm talking to you right now and there's a demon that just pops up right behind you, I'm backing up and I'm leaving.
Why are you not telling me this? that's
help me here.
Fuck you, bro. Fuck y'all, bro. Shit.
Nah, I'm out. Like, there's no. She just sat there and went, oh. But yeah, it's
like, you know, like you just seen that before. Like, you just left your pie out in the window.
Like, the pie's still in the oven. Oh fuck!
How great in the franchise, the whole movie, all the 3 movies now.
What, Insidious?
Yeah, how great is Lin Shaye?
Oh, Lin Shaye is amazing.
Is that the old woman?
Yeah,
she's good.
She's been in everything.
She can play anything. She was in Detroit Rock City.
Oh, I love Detroit Rock City.
She was in Boat Trip.
Yeah,
as the instructor with the bikini team.
Lin Shaye is a horror genius.
Nicholas.
She's fucking brilliant. You should watch more Lin Shaye movies.
Yeah,
noted.
I love that woman. She's really good.
Yeah. So number 2 on our list is the crucifix scene.
Okay.
Where it's just like it goes upside down?
No. When she shoves the crucifix up her twat.
Nice.
She stands there and she's that whole scene was pretty fucked up because that's what scared people because they did something that never was done in the movies before. She takes a
13-year-old shoving a crucifix up her twat.
That wasn't a 13-year-old. That wasn't Linda Blair.
In the movie.
Right, that was her stunt double. However, in the movie, she stands there and she shoves
and it was consensual.
Lord above, he said it. I had nothing to do with this. Jesus Christ. And the whole thing was basically, she's jamming this thing in her, and she's like, let Jesus. And people are being mortified by this.
Oh, yeah.
And then, what's the very next scene? She grabs her mother's face and she shoves it in it.
Yeah, she shoves her mother's face in her twat.
And it comes up all bloody and
that's the same scene that she got hurt in.
Yeah, and then she backs up and here comes a fucking thing over it. So basically that scene grabbed you and wouldn't let you go. You just wouldn't. And then what happens when that scene's done? It goes to quiet.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
and
boom.
she's asleep.
Like, what the fuck, man? You just, come on.
It's like how do you spur all that chaos and then just like stop it out of nowhere right there?
It was done with great effect.
The thing about the movie, nobody realizes this. Everybody's like, oh, it's scary. The ups and downs this movie takes you on, the emotional journey that you go through, that you go along with Reagan and Reagan's mother and having to deal with
all that
shit that's happening is the fucked up part emotionally that you're going through.
I guess maybe that's why I never got scared with the movie because I didn't like get myself hooked into it.
Well, you're also 11, 12 years old. You're not gonna.
Well, no, I was in high school when this happened.
So I mean, at that point, like I wasn't even like I only got.
Not that. I was also looking at because of course we took video production, so I'm like looking at it from the technical point of view, like why okay, this why is this a good movie? That's why I was looking at it. Okay, like what technically makes this a good movie? I wasn't hooked on the whole story of it, or at least I didn't.
But that's the thing. Also, that's why it's good to look at it technically, but it goes into technical aspect too. Because if you're talking about movie and how to write movies, taking your audience on an emotional journey and having them hooked into it all goes into that technical aspect.
Gotcha.
Because if you could sit there and have them be like, oh, what's gonna happen next, or holy shit, that just fucking happened, and having them go up on these ups and downs of it's loud now, quiet now, everybody's gonna sit there and be like, okay,
the suspense factor is just very out there for that.
I think I'm gonna nominate. You took film in school too, correct?
Yeah.
Well, what the fuck are you two wasting your time for? Fucking put something together.
Of course.
Even if it's a horror movie, something.
It's very interesting too. I was just at my job site today, and oh damn, I didn't get his phone number. And this crazy guy named Jason, told me that he has a movie coming out October 10th on YouTube. It's a horror movie, and it took him 2 years to do it.
Well, yeah,
it's like a 40-minute short. He says his girl's in it. His girl's like a stunt double or a stunt actress. She was in John Wick 3 apparently. I was like, wow, good for her.
No, that's we're trying. Like that's why I need to get money. The money is our biggest adversary right now.
Well,
and the time to actually do it.
Get a business account.
That's what we just started today. Literally, I have the card over here. We just started it today.
Like LLC and everything. Like.
Well, no, we haven't signed the paperwork for anything. I'm waiting for Anthony's signature. But yeah.
Okay. Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. But the number one.
We wait forever for Anthony. That's another story.
The number one.
Trust me. Where's that script at? Huh?
Yeah. Oh, trust me. I'll get into it after the podcast. I'll tell you what the fuck's going on with that.
Nice.
Number one of the scariest things.
It's been a year.
He's so good with them fucking.
It's been a year.
Number one goes to the Exorcist 3.
Oh, there you
and
go.
That is the nurse's station scene that you were talking about before.
Oh God! Oh.
We have to watch this movie now.
Oh
I'm
my
not gonna.
God!
I want to watch these movies. Like maybe. Yeah, I'll probably just watch the first and the third one, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, so
because the second and fourth one don't sound too promising.
The second one, you're gonna sit there going, "What the fuck is that got this gun?" It really has nothing to do. Now, diehard Exorcist aficionados will say, "Oh, that's not true." But I don't want to think too much when I'm watching these movies. I want to be scared.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to have to sit there and technically take everything apart, because to me that's fucking nuts. I want to just
fuck you. I want to be scared.
But that's the thing. It goes into what we were talking about, the technical aspect. Now it's try being in our brains now and learning what we learned in high school and you know whatever.
I took cabinet making. I'm good with that. I built the booth. You guys can produce the bullshit. That's how I look at it.
It's a good booth.
Thank you.
But yeah, so the explain to us, take us scene by scene in the hospital, that hospital booth.
I'll give you a little synopsis. The movie starts off in this hospital. People are turning up dead, but they're drained of their blood, and the blood is put in little cups on a tray in the hospital.
That's fucking creepy.
And so somebody's draining the blood. Not leaving a mess on the floor, nothing.
No cuts,
no cutting their heads off.
Oh.
They cut the heads off.
And no blood at all.
Right, and there's no blood at all. The blood winds up in little vials or little Dixie cups neatly lined up on the thing. Now you have a priest that's involved, that is involved in the hospital. So he makes his rounds. It's an older hospital, so I'm going to set the scene where it's not a new modern hospital with new lighting and new,
Like we're talking like 1930s, 40s,
yeah, basically.
Insane asylum.
Right, it's exactly it. And in this scene, in the one scene he's talking about, and I'm surprised that they made that the number one, but I can understand why. The nurse was in... you had a hallway, a hospital corridor, and the nurse is stationed in the middle, and the camera's way back. So from a distance, you see this woman stand there, and in front of her, there's a cop sitting on a bench. I believe he was reading a newspaper.
Okay.
So she's making her rounds to different things, and then she takes, she goes to, the cop gets up and he leaves. So now she's there all alone. So now you know something's fucked up.
The nurse, right?
Right. The nurse is there alone. And she's making her rounds going into different places. And she comes towards the camera and she makes a right and goes into a room, turns the light on, comes out of the room. You see her shut the door. And as she's walking across the thing, right through this comes a figure in a hospital gown with her face covered. It's face covered. And there's this tool that they use to decapitate people in the mortuary. It's a giant scissor, and she's coming out at her with this thing. They never see her get her, but it's like she closes the door and she turns her back, and this thing just comes darting right at her. That scared the fucking me. I'll play that for you in a minute. That scared the shit out of me. And more than anything other than the crab walk in the entire Exorcist franchise. That's fucked up. They did a good job.
Now you say that you're surprised that they made that the first one. Were you expecting the crab walk to be the scariest thing because of the director's cut?
Yeah, I didn't see any. I didn't know it was coming. I didn't see it, and I replayed it a bunch of times, and I'm like, holy shit! And then you slow it down. You want to see different things. It wasn't, and it still scared the shit out of me, even though I knew it was coming. Later on, watching it at a different time, but then later on, when you go, there's a whole video, the making of, and they show you how they did it. She's on a backboard coming down backwards, and she spins around. It's really complicated, but it wasn't until I saw that it didn't really have that same effect on me. But the scene I'm talking about in Exorcist 3, it's amazing. And that's what, to me, what horror is all about. I wanted, and again, we're going back to the music part, there was no music.
There you go.
This entire scene, there was no music.
I'm telling you, most of the scenes I know that are scary, or at least scare the shit out of me, 90% of the time have no music attached to them.
No, of course not. That's the beauty behind it, because it's like in real life or in reality, you don't have freaking background music in your life. You're
not expecting it, because like in most horror movies, you have people, you have the music that will build up,
and then it gets dead quiet for like a few moments, maybe like
and
5-10 seconds.
Jump scare,
boom!
Yeah.
Ah.
But something's going to happen with that build up.
Exactly.
When it happens just out of nowhere, that's when you're not expecting it. Like, that's one of the reasons why, and we'll do this. We could do this at another point, and I'll probably talk about this on the Green Hour podcast. But that's another reason why I like what's that movie that came out, the $2,000 budget movie that came out a couple years ago? The one about the ghosts, Katie and all that.
Paranormal Activity?
Paranormal Activity.
Well, that was a $15,000 budget.
Well, yeah, it was still a very low budget for how much it made.
I can only imagine how much that movie made.
Oh, it's up in the billions now. That franchise is worth billions of dollars.
I've seen another couple movies, but that one was really good.
I went to see it opening night, and it scared the fuck out of me, because I told myself I was going to church the next day. And then
that's not even the funny part. I'm just picturing you at church. That's the funny part.
So then the part that like really like messed with me, again, it's not just watching these movies, it's what happened after these movies, because at the time me and my sister were sharing a room, and she always used to fall asleep first with a little night light, and I always used to take out the night light because I'm like, I want to sleep in the dark.
You didn't do that this time.
Not tonight. Not tonight. I left that little night light on, and then I made the mistake of like not closing the door all the way, or at least I thought I closed the door all the way. And then when I woke up in the middle of the night, I just see the door slightly creaked open, and then the shadow of the nightlight makes it seem like there's a figure at the door. And I swear to God, I cried right there. Said, "Why? Why does gotta happen to me, bro?"
No, I mean, I've had that happen to me before.
And then I was staring at that thing like with the covers over my nose, just staring at it, waiting for it to make its move. And I'm like, "You gonna get me or what, bro? Like, come on, do it. I'm already here. I'm up." And then I got the balls to get up and just close the door, and I was like, I didn't go back to sleep though.
I understand what he's talking about, because this happened to me like when I was still living upstairs. I was living into where Teresa's room is now.
Yeah.
And that was after, I believe, watching like at the time that was the height of the Ghost Hunters TV show. And I know when I was that young watching Ghost Hunters TV show, I was like, when it came out, it was like 10, 11. Mm-hmm. And watching that at night, because I remember coming at 9 o'clock, and 9 o'clock is bedtime for 10-year-olds. So
supposed to.
Yeah. So I would never go to sleep, but I remember one night it was like dead silent. Everybody was asleep, and I was after watching Ghost Hunters, and I'm just like I couldn't sleep. It was like at that point I had no TV in my room, so it was just black room. So I turned my light on. I go into the parlor. I have the parlor light on. I have the kitchen light on. I had all the lights on the flat, and for some reason, I don't know why, I turned quickly, and I don't know what the problem was, but I guess it was something with my eyes. But it scared the shit out of me, because in my eyes, I saw a figure standing in my bedroom door. It was about the height of the bedroom door, like the door frame.
That's nuts. It
literally just seemed like a man's figure, like see-through. Like I saw through it, But again, I don't know if it was my eyes playing a trick on me. Like that, it's burned into my memory. That's how scared I was.
Well,
I did not sleep at all.
I could only imagine. I could only imagine, bro. That sounds scary, petrifying.
But yeah, so like that's again, the biggest problem I have with Ghost Hunters, and still to this day, even their new TV shows, is that they add music to where they shouldn't.
Yeah, that sucks because I mean, like a guy like me, my hearing isn't the best, so I'm listening to this shit. I'm hearing this bullshit that they're playing, and the guy goes, "Did you hear that?" No, motherfucker, I didn't hear it. You got that stupid music playing.
Like, shut up.
It's like a, and then you're trying to like, no, I did not hear this shit. What the fuck?
You know, I mean, it's nuts. But I'll tell you one place the music did work, and I can the original Amityville Horror. Margot Kidder and that music by Lalo Schifrin was the scariest fucking music.
That's right.
That's the music.
Yeah, it's scary because it's not haunting. It's not haunting.
To me, it was very haunting.
It's not ominous.
It's ominous, but it sounds like, okay. You ever heard the 1, 2, like a?
That's honestly that's the exact same vibe that I got from that.
Yeah, so that
is he the same
guy
like that? Was he the same guy that did that too?
I don't know. I really didn't check behind who wrote the music, but I know it has that same. It's kids just going.
It has that same cadence.
La, la, la.
And it's how they did it too. It's they opened the credits with it.
Yeah,
now you're coming to this. You just heard about this story for the last 15 years. Well,
it was 1978, right?
79.
79.
So you heard about this story from 3 years ago. It's already ingrained in your head. You know the term the Amityville Horror is fucked up to begin with.
Yeah, see, we don't get that these days. Like, they made a horror movie out of a big press release thing and a book that happened 3 years before. That would be like, I don't know, 2 years from now doing a movie on, like, the presidential election of this year and the fucked up shit behind that. But you don't get that with horror shit anymore because, you know, now we have more media, we have more coverage on everything, more video stuff, more people out to debunk it, to where they had a book and local news TV. And you didn't get that much access to what it was really about. So you have people thinking, oh, there's a demon in this house and something's attacking these people.
Right.
And then 2 years later, there's a book and a movie about it, and here comes the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because wasn't the case was that like the father killed everybody in the house or something like that?
The brother killed everybody in the house.
Yeah.
But what makes it creepy about that, and me, Anthony, and Dad, we did a previous episode on Is This Real, and you can listen to it if you want later. The brother killed the whole family, or except for he killed everyone, right?
Killed everybody, yeah.
Killed everybody in the house with a shotgun, right?
He killed his brother, 2 sisters,
and his parents.
Well, let's see. Parents, brother, 2 sisters.
5. Himself? Did he kill himself too?
No, he's still in jail.
He killed 6 people. 2 brothers, 2 sisters, and his parents.
But the fucked up part about that night is nobody heard the shotgun.
It wasn't a shotgun. If it was a shotgun, I could understand. He was walking through the house with a 30-06.
Oh, a 30-06. Yeah.
It's an amazingly loud weapon.
So
a revolver?
Huh?
No. It's like a hunting rifle.
Yeah, it's a hunting rifle.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
what the fuck,
he killed his entire family with a hunting rifle that was mounted in the house.
And they were all, the funny part, like Joey said, the funny part is they were all laying in the same position. Now, and the question is, why didn't somebody outside the house hear this gunshot?
Or them themselves, because apparently there was no, like the coroner said, they didn't get up and like move.
They didn't check on it. They were dead in the bed in the same position. Now,
maybe they were drugged.
They didn't. No, the autopsy came back, and the biggest question was, why didn't somebody hear this? And that's the question that nobody answers. There was no drugs. There was no these. I mean, you're talking kids that are, 7, 8. Teenage sister was 16. Another sister was 13 or whatever. And I mean, they're just.
How old was the brother, Matt?
Right now, Ronnie DeFeo's got to be close to 60 now.
Yeah.
Well, when he was the oldest when
I think he was 18 when he did it.
But the thing, like, okay, so you have the DeFeo family that gets murdered in the house, and then the Lutz family comes in, and then they start going insane. They only lasted, what, 3 weeks in that house?
They moved
or 40 days or some shit like that?
40 days. They moved in November and left in, like, beginning of January.
Yeah, they just left everything. They didn't pack up. They just got in the car and fucking left. Because there was shit that was happening in the house. And
well, imagine that. You had 6 people violently murdered in a home. If you want to say that their spirits were not at peace.
Wasn't their spirits.
Oh.
Yeah, apparently. Apparently, if that's you believe what Ronnie DeFeo, I think he was saying that he was coaxed into doing it by some external force. Like something was telling him to murder his family.
So, he tried to plead the insane asylum, the insanity thing.
I guess that would be it, but at the same time, like, having that,
he's in jail, so obviously they didn't.
But having budge. That, and then having what happened to the Lutz family, and even Dad was telling about the what's their
There was a third family that moved into this house.
No, what's the ghost hunting people name? God, I can't remember. The husband and wife.
Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Yeah, Ed and Lorraine Warren went to the Amityville Horror House, and she even said there was shit in there that she couldn't even tell people.
That she couldn't tell people?
Yeah, that she didn't want to tell people. Shit. So, yeah, there was some shit going on in that house. Now, mind you, now that you can still visit the house, they picked the entire house up and moved it, like, down the block. So, it's still there. The movie was filmed in Tom's River. But yeah, so like that's the thing.
New Jersey?
Yeah, New Jersey.
Shout out to us. Always with the creepy shit.
But yeah, that's the thing with
Friday the 13th.
But that's the thing with movies. I think if you have the right
location,
the right tone and the right type of idea and music behind it, you can make anything scary.
See this guy right here? His name is Christopher Lutz. He was one of the guys, one of the kids.
Yeah, the kids of the Lutz, the second family.
The second family. He, everybody was trying to debunk it and whatever. If you go on his website, he's got a YouTube page. He did a complete interview where he sat down, and he's one of these
logical people.
No, he's one of these. You look at him the wrong way, he gets up and punches you in the head. He's a crazy. He looks crazy.
He's like an edgy guy.
He looks like he did have a drug habit. So I heard, but he plays really, really good guitar. But this whole thing is where he comes out and he's like, they're telling you it didn't happen. He goes, I lived it. And he didn't like George Lutz, his stepfather. He didn't like him. Because you're not my real father. You can't tell me what to do. One of those scenarios. So I tend to believe what he says because he's not making any money. They're not making any money from this. So I tend to believe him when you watch that video. So if you get a chance to watch it,
why would people lie if they're not making money off of it?
Exactly. I mean, you can do that for fame, but that fame's not going to fit food on your table. You know what
exactly. I mean? Fuck that. I don't want fame. I want money.
Well, I'll take a little of both if you don't mind.
Nah. I'll stick with money. I'll take shit behind the scene. I'm good. But yeah, so I think that's where we'll end I think that's where we'll end it today with this episode. I thought it was a really interesting episode.
I did too. I really enjoyed having Eric here. You did a great job. You're really great at it.
Well, he's used to mics, so.
Well, you even have the right position too.
Yeah, exactly. So like he's used to all of it. So. But yeah, so I will definitely.
And I didn't mean that to be sexual. If you're
I'm
just
not saying a
if
word.
You're grunting, if you're grunting,
do it. I mean, in my mind, this shit's gonna come flying out. Come on.
That's what she said.
I gotta keep my mouth shut. I gotta keep my mouth.
Yeah. So I don't know what next week's episode. I know we said on the last one that we were going to talk about, our trip to Pine Bush and our trip to Sleepy Hollow. Which, by the way, if you would like to join us, we're going up to Sleepy Hollow for the weekend. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
No.
Well, Sunday we're going up for just a road trip. If you want to take the road trip with us, because Sunday morning we're leaving early, or after Mom has a thing. She has a doctor's appointment. But Sunday we're going up just to see what's up there.
It's in New York, right?
Yeah, it's like 20 minutes away.
20 minutes. So you go up the Parkway, across Tappan Zee Bridge, Exit 9, it's right there. Boom, you're right there. 20, 25 minutes.
But yeah, so
amazing place.
But in 2-3 weeks,
around the 10th of October.
Yeah, Mom and Dad's anniversary.
Okay.
The 9th, which is a Friday night, we're going up to Pine Bush, which another episode we talked. Pine Bush is the UFO capital of the East Coast. We're going up there to try and find some UFOs, and there's apparently a haunted cemetery up there that me and Dad are going to go ghost hunting in. And then we're going to stay the night in Pine Bush, and then we're going to drive down to Spooky Hollow.
You're gonna go to Spooky Hollow.
We're going to go to Sleepy Hollow, which, the legend of Sleepy Hollow. You've seen the movie with Johnny Depp, right?
I actually watched it the other night.
I was watching it the other night too. Holy shit.
Oh my God, twins.
But yeah, so we're going to go spend the night there. Teresa and Isaiah are coming. And, we're going to do all the Halloween stuff because they have all Halloween stuff set up for that. And apparently, 10 miles away, there's a big 1,000 light jack-o'-lantern.
30,000.
30,000 light.
I'll just say this. If I see that Headless Horseman out there, I'm really, I'm losing my shit.
Well, if you see the Headless Horseman, do me a favor. You have my phone number? Call me, because if I'm not with you, I'm leaving the town. You better be in the car, because there's no fucking way I'm staying around. Fuck that shit right now.
Because that's the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, right?
Yeah,
the Headless Horseman?
Yep. I'm telling you, I'm
going to watch that tomorrow. I got nothing else to do. Unemployed motherfucker like I am. So maybe I'll watch that.
Yeah, I mean, it's, of course, Hollywood up, but, you know what the fucked up part about that movie is? I know we're going a little bit off time and off topic of this episode, but the fucked up part about that movie is that Christopher Walken plays the Headless Horseman, and he doesn't get credited in that movie at all.
He's headless.
More cowbell.
More heads. We're going to give him more heads.
I need more head.
He's headless. Of course you're not going to credit him.
But he still played in it.
Debunked.
But yeah, so if you would like to join us, the offer's always out there for you to join us anywhere we go.
Yeah.
There's a couple things we'll be doing in October for Halloween. We're going to be filming it, so if you want to help film and stuff like that.
Of course, I'm always down.
Yeah, so that's where we'll end this episode. Again, another great episode, and we'll see you guys later.
All right.
I love you guys.
Thanks, man.
All right. Well, Eric, if you join us for our next podcast, the Green Hour podcast with Anthony, or if you want to jump on Angry Uncle,
I'll just be around.
Yeah, he'll just be around.
I'll just be around.
So, thank you guys. Good night.
Good night.
I love you.
I love you guys too.